Old heroes are back, and this is thanks to the great designs in Call of Dragons. Most games toss old heroes aside every update, but Call of Dragons just give you Dusty Infantry Trim a second chance. Let's look at which heroes, old heroes, can actually benefit from the new synergy. Now, here is the thing with the Call of Dragons. I see something change drastically in this game the past 1 year, and I'm so happy that this thing is happening actually. And at the beginning, you're going to see that the new heroes is completely for the new altogether. I mean, the two new heroes is the best synergies between them. This is obviously what is still happening in Call of Dragons, but you can still use one of these heroes with other heroes and still perform very nicely on the battlefield. Obviously, what the majority of the people is going to understand that I'm talking about currently for the infantry. I'm going to give some infantry picks. I'm going to give you some mages, some marksmen, some cavalry picks, which is extremely valuable with the pair that they was present in the game, but in the same time can be matched with other heroes. Now, Kuma is one of the heroes that all alone is a one-man army. Draining the HP, diffused draining, getting extra 50% HP up to 150 because he's getting like 100% from the other legions around. So this hero actually can be paired with Goresh. Let's say obviously the best thing is going to be with Lee Quan, because Lee Quan is depending on the Kuma, but Kuma is independent. So Kuma you can match with any heroes. I'm going to also give you some other type of heroes that is undependent of rest of the heroes. Lee Quan is depending because the HP bonus is scales with HP bonus, infantry bonus. So for him, it's going to be the best to be with Kuma. Okay, this is the first synergy that the game is giving between the two new heroes. But in the same time, I think Kuma is work perfectly with Goresh, and I use it Goresh with Kuma. Great survivability, weakening all the alliances around, and here I'm looking for tankiness. Lee Quan is going to do pretty decent amount of damage. Also, Lee Quan is having some good survivability skills, like this one, infantry HP bonus 25%, and this stacks like 5% HP for 5 seconds up to 10 stacks. This is a great survivability. Now some people are saying Lee Quan is squishy. Well, it's not squishy. It's not that easy to be killed. Just by looking the survivability, this is also infantry unit skill damage taken reduction, and the biggest enemy of the infantry is actually mages. So skill damage reduction 25% is crazy. And also here you're going to see more HP with stacks can go up to 50% more HP. 25 from here, 75% HP. But yeah, still Lee Quan is also can be paired with other heroes to do more damage, like for example Goresh. And Goresh was the other hero present in Call of Dragons that was very flexible. You see Mogru Goresh as a garnison back in the days in the previous generation. Right now you can see Goresh with Kuma. This is also great synergy. And if I open some of the reports I have, okay, this is reports I have. Maybe this one. Do we have some? Here we see Goresh Skogo. Obviously, this is a very nice synergy, but we can see Kuma with Lee Quan, obviously. Okay, in this report, we didn't see something like this, but maybe in one of the other reports, we can actually see. Yeah, here you can see this is Goresh with Kuma. Both of them awaken it, by the way, and they're doing pretty decent damage to my legion. But you're not going to see it that often because still people are adapting to the new heroes that are presented in Call of Dragons. But this is just the point that people are start using, for example, Kuma with Goresh. Mogru with Goresh, Generation 3, Generation 2 hero. And this is just for the infantry. I think Lee Quan is also can work very nicely with Goresh, but I think Kuma is way better. But still, you're going to get okay results with the latest generation. I mean Generation 3 and Generation 4 heroes is somehow bringing more synergy between the teams. You can use one hero because here is the thing. You can get the hero from Wookiee Spin. The two new heroes is from Wookiee Spin. The second one is from Strongest Sword. Lee Quan is from the Strongest Sword. Obviously, this is a hero for WoW. It's perfect for rallies. But Kuma is from Wookiee Spin. And if you're a free-to-play player, it's going to be extremely hard if you don't get lucky in Wheel of Destiny to actually get Lee Quan. It's absolutely the same for every hero presented in Call of Dragons that is from the Strongest Sword. And if I get it, if I click on the plus, you're going to get tokens from Dialog, which you basically have to have the hero or Strongest Sword. And competing in the Strongest Sword, well, let's say it's not that easy. So we have big percentage from the players with the heroes that are from Wookiee Spin or that are from the gold keys, or somehow they get the heroes that are from the Strongest Sword. I mean, in Wheel of Destiny, they get lucky and etc. And game think in this direction that these heroes somehow to get built with the rest of the heroes. And this is not only for the heroes. And also I can actually point about some other synergy team that I use. Magrat this generation 3 with Syndrian. I use Magrat with Syndrian because my Syndrian is 6-star, Awakened, my Zeta is like 5-1-1-1, and Magrat Syndrian is performing very, very nicely. Magrat Frygar is performing even better. I don't know why I use Magrat with Syndrian. Maybe I should use Magrat with Frygar. But yeah, Frygar giving this critical, and when the Magrat is hit with the normal attack, 450, and if it's a critical, it's just doing crazy amount of damage. In the same time, the first big synergy that we saw between the legions was in the season 1. And this is Bakshi and Emrys. Emrys still these days can be paired with almost everything in Call of Dragons. It's giving you march speed, cavalry march speed bonus 10%. It's giving you everything here is extremely nice. Rage accumulation speed and etc. This is from point of a cavalry. And I think the rest of the heroes is also benefiting that great. Now, some of the heroes, for example, Nea and Li Shanyan, when he triggers his rage accumulation speed, 15%, can go 15%. Here, you can get like 40 rage. If it's awakened, like 50 rage per second for 5 seconds. Here, the rage accumulation speed is on the roof. This is a generation 4 cavalry. If you want to spread this rage accumulation speed between the other heroes, the other legions, you can do it. And also with the march speed, you can control the march speed, you can control the rage accumulation speed for the cavalry, and start building some other different synergy from the two new heroes presented in the game. They can become extremely good in something, but you can spread this extremely good value across your legion so they can become good altogether, not having like one crazy legion and rest is not that great. So this is from point of the heroes. I can say for the mages, overall heroes obviously is also in this direction. And artifact pets also change a lot. Right now, yeah, I'm going to open again the new heroes that I'm going to talk about, but if you see the latest artifact is giving 20% HP, doing some diffused damage. Also, this is for specific legions, obviously, but still, this artifact is giving crazy survivability. On top of that, the Mogrok, the new pet, is also giving a crazy survivability, and it can be applied to majority of the infantry legions because we don't have that many survivability pets for infantry, and this one is a game changer. This is just from point of a pets. New gear breathes life into the old combos. This is obvious. And here's the thing. I want to point something that I see some guides and tutorials on the YouTube where if you want to make this legion hit hard, just put him X artifact. Especially for the suit artifact, for example, this is Infernal Flames. It's a suit one. Should be the best gear should be with the best combo because the gear scales from the how strong is your combo stats, etc. So if you take your best artifact and you put it on the most weak legion, this legion, the artifact is just going to do less damage from normally what he's going to do. So, he's going to boost the weak legion damage output, But if you want to get the best benefits from your artifact, basically put it on the best team. Your best artifact with the best team. Now there's exception like Infernal Flame, which is mostly for Lilia, Infecting Scorch. This is not the only artifact. I think I mentioned in my other video. This is basically for the camouflage. Legion get haste when it's on camouflage. This for the new generation for infantry. Nea, specific artifact for her. Now, if we have something like this, obviously, yeah, it's going to go like this. But all the artifacts, you can make crazy decisions. You want to have more HP? Put Thunder Elegy on the Legion. You want, and also you want to get some control. You want to hit like a truck? Get Mirage Orb on your best Legion. This on the single target is Armor Piercing Shell. Armor Piercing Shell. This thing is doing crazy amount of damage, and it can be combined with so many different heroes. So many different heroes, not like in season 1. This is for Lilia, period. This artifact's for Lilia. And you have Phoenixite, that is more general artifact. But yeah, having artifact just for one hero. And same for the pets, as I show you. Also, Sand Lizard is used, Venom Lizard is not only used with Goresh Kobo, for example, it's also used with Hoskinara. Hoskinara is also a good pick. I mean, we see some different combination which is going to make the game very interesting. Obviously, it's going to be a best picks, but if you have a pet and the new pet is way better from your pet that was builded for the Legion, the new Legion. For example, in Generation 2, which pet was presented with I think Broom Bear. I think Broom Bear was with Goresh and Skogul. Yeah, but Moon Bear is better for Goresh and Skogul. Later, Venom Lizard is better from Broom Bear. So you see, you have Broom Bear and scale up. Now, obviously, Moon Bear is going to be for rally type of activities, and Venom Lizard for open field. But both of these two pets outperform the pet that was designed for Goresh and Skogul. So yeah, obviously the new things need more investment, but I'm happy that we start seeing different combination between the pets, artifacts, and old heroes. Now, I don't want to make a suggestion that use Akuma as support for old guards or old heroes in Call of Dragons. I think you should get the best value from Kuma, and obviously it's going to be with this bad boy just to boost him. But if you don't have him, like me, he's from Strongest Sword, you can just combine him with Goresh. He's going to just bring very nice value there, especially if you don't have Skogul, like Awakened. Awakened Skogul is very nice. It's very, very nice. And I think the game designs is encouraging mixing, not just wells with the new meta units. And I'm so happy that the Kuma is actually from Wikispin. I'm so happy. I mean, obviously, I can afford to go for Will of Destiny or buy daily bundles to actually get the new hero, because if you don't get it from the Strongest Sword, if you don't get it from Wikispin, the only thing that you have to do is just go and actually buy it from the daily deals. Right now I'm working over the Thunderlin, but I can get any hero that was from the Strongest Sword back in the days. But still, I really hope the more valuable heroes to be from Wikispin. But yeah, this is very hard to be achieved. And it's also keeping the game fresh. Reusing older builds make things feel new again. This is something that I'm also so happy, because you see some hero that is not performing, performing below the average, and you want to somehow this hero use him, because back in the days there was a huge hype around this hero, and this hero didn't end up to be whatever you're looking for, and you invest in him. Like, for example, I invest in Kinara. It's like 5541. I will be very happy if something come in Call of Dragons from the new heroes and somehow make Kinara great again. So I like the direction where the Call of Dragons is going, with the new changes and the new heroes and how these heroes can be paired. I'm happy that the Kuma is accessible, and also before Kuma, I think Nea was from the Wikispin, if I remember right. Yeah, Wikispin. This is, I think, better from Li Shanyan, which is very nice. But it's more like well stuffs. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, Lee Kuan is more like well stuffs because even if you get him from the wiki spin, you have to invest him and awake him. You know, to awake the specific hero. Sometimes the value is like 5551 or 551 and something like this. But if you have awakened hero, it's way better. It's just something in extra, something that is very good. So yeah, I just wanted to share my thoughts over how the Call of Dragons is going and the direction is going. I'm so happy that they start thinking over the problems, like for example, season one heroes get just put it so back behind, but you can still make some crazy stuffs like Kuma Madeline, for example. Even though Madeline right now is overall, they actually changed her. She was an infantry hero, but right now it's overall. But still, I think is Kuma Madeline is very nice with the shield, especially shield factor 1.2k, the biggest shield in Call of Dragons, and increasing the capacity and etc. Should I go back and build other heroes, infantry heroes now with those new tools? Should I actually go and reinvest again in the heroes in the season one or maybe two or three? Well, the answer is actually no. Now it may sound funny, but you just level the heroes you're needing for your main troop. I think the majority of the players is single troop main. Even the whales are single troop main. Okay, they're not single troop main, they're all the troops main. But to go back and, for example, use your daily deals on Bertrand, and right now we're waiting for Generation 4 mages, it's not a smart idea. It's only on no, actually Bertrand is a smart idea. But if I want to go and invest, for example, in Nico, I'm mage main, I don't need Nico. Or maybe Theodore. Again, I don't care about the Theodore. Just maybe maxing the legions that is for your main troop is a good way, a good investment, even if you have to go over the heroes that is from previous seasons till the new one come, just to make your march more stronger. But yeah, in general, I'm happy that there is so diverse. You can mix the heroes from the different generations and make something very nice in Call of Dragons. So yeah, this will be for this video, guys. I really hope you enjoyed. This is my thoughts in general. Let me know in the comments what you guys think about the new heroes and etc. The mixing and so on. So yeah, wish you a great day and see you in the next video.